Hey artists, this demo is just going to help you get set up for your drawing as well as get started on the first step, which is just a linear sketch using whatever your main reference photo is, or reference photo and sketch or sketches that you've created. So what you're going to need to do is, based on your image, find and size a piece of paper that suits you, and then you're going to be taping this down to a drawing board. Also, you might want to keep a couple of scraps of the same color and type of drawing paper. You can include these on your board if you have additional space, and these will serve later as areas to test the different medias out. So just make sure to use green tape when you do this, and allow the paper to be flat and smooth, trying not to cover up too much of the actual drawing area. So I'm gonna actually replace that one. You just want to get, you know, a little 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch kind of covered up to just hold it down flat for you as you keep working on the drawing. Okay, and then for these little scraps, same. Okay, like so. You could also kind of keep these guys loose and just have them in your sketchbook. If you chose that, that would be fine. But I like to have colors and things that I'm testing out right next to the drawing I'm working on. Just one last thing to point out about how I've set this particular board up. I'm right-handed, so the main part of my work is to the right. But if you're left-handed, you'd want to reverse this. And that's just going to help to prevent any smudging. Okay, so then as you feel ready, you're going to take whatever your reference is and start to just get a linear drawing happening. Really important to keep your pencil well sharpened, and to also use a pencil that's really light, so that has a harder graphite lead. This is a 3H. You could use 2H or H. Definitely on the lighter end is good. Have your eraser handy as well, and it may help you if you're doing some rough proportions to just kind of have a ruler nearby, not necessarily to create a grid, although you could, but just to sort of help you get a sense of, okay, so how tall this is here versus, you know, roughly what it could be if I made it almost twice as large. And then this is just where it takes time and patience, and you're trusting your eye to kind of do this work. So I actually perceive a perfectly rounded shape in the lower half of this. So I actually might rough that in and then build up above. It's just pulling out the first step, really simple shapes, and getting them in the right location. Okay, of course, erasing any lines that didn't quite work out or they were just there as a guide. When you start to feel good about how that looks, I'm just going to narrow this a bit. Okay, to the more specific edges that I'm seeing, as it's not this perfect sort of little edge. Then you can start to begin to add in more detail. So wherever you see highlights, shadows, wherever you're seeing changes in color or in tone, right, in value, pretty similar to that value map drawing we did in watercolor, probably not quite as detailed, but giving yourself a really solid guideline to just kind of get through this. And of course, if you're doing multiple drawings, set up multiple boards. If you are combining reference photos, this is where all of that good stuff needs to happen. So keep all these things set up, take your time. Again, you only want this to be a line drawing and you want it to be quite light. So if any areas get too dark, you know, you might just come back over, soften them up, and just try to keep a really gentle, delicate touch. Good luck on the first stage of your drawing project.